Welcome to episode 48 of Gods and Heroes of Ancient Greece. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and today we continue with the tale of the Seven Against Thebes, with the story of the heroes arrive in Thebes. This is an omen of how this expedition will end, Amphiaraus, the seer, had said gloomily when they discovered the bones of Opheltes. But the others were more concerned with the killing of the serpent and claimed that this was a sign of good fortune. And because the host had fully recovered from the hardship of thirst, they were all in excellent spirits and paid no attention to the size of this prophet of evil. A few days more, and the Argives were before the walls of Thebes. Eteocles and his uncle Creon were prepared to defend the city long and stubbornly, and now the son of Oedipus addressed his people. "Remember, fellow citizens, what you owe the city, which was a gentle mother to you in childhood, and reared you to stalwart warriors, all of you, from the youth who had not yet grown into manhood, to the man whose hair is gray. I call on all of you to defend the altars of your native gods, your fathers, your wives, your children, the free earth on which you stand. He who reads omens from the flight of birds has told me that during the coming night the Argives will concentrate their hosts and make an attack upon Thebes. On to the gates, to the walls, to arms! Occupy the ramparts, man the towers, guard every entrance, and do not fear the numbers of the enemy. My spies are all about and will discover the tactics of the foes. I shall bring my plan according to the message they bring." When Eteocles was thus spurring his men to action, Antigone stood on the highest parapet of the palace. With her was an old man, the armor-bearer of her grandfather Laius. Soon after her father's death, she and her sister Ismene had left the protection of King Theseus out of a great longing for their own country. They came with the vague hope of assisting their brother Polynices, even though they did not approve of the siege he contemplated, and with the determination to share the fate of the beloved city of their birth. Creon and Eteocles had received Antigone with open arms, for they regarded her as a voluntary hostage and welcome go-between. On this day she had climbed the old palace stair, built of sweet-smelling cedar, and stood on the platform listening to the old man as he explained the position of the enemy. The great host was encamped on all fields surrounding the city, along the banks of Isamenus, and along the foundation of Dirce, famed since the days of old. There was motion among the men. They were dividing off into troops. An entire region shone with the glint of metal, like the sea and the sun. Masses of foot soldiers and riders churned around the gates of the besieged city. The girl was terror-stricken at the sight, but the old man comforted her. "Our walls are high and solid," he said, "and our oaken gates have heavy bolts of iron. The city lies secure within and is defended by many brave warriors who do not fear the grimmest battle." Then, in response to her questions, he pointed out to her the various leaders. "That one over there, whose helmet glitters in the light, who swings his great polished shield as though it were weightlessness and goes in the van of his men, is Prince Hapedon, who lives in Mycenae, near the waters of Lerna. He is tall of stature, like the giants who once sprang from the earth. More to the right, do you see that one who is just jumping the waters of Dirce on his horse, who wears armor resembling that of barbarians? That is Tydeus, son of Enos, the brother of your brother's wife. He and his Aetolians carry heavy shields and are known for their skill in the use of lances. I recognize him by his emblem, for I have visited the enemy's camp as a messenger." And who is that young hero?" the girl asked. "Young, and yet with a man's beard, who looks about with such savage glances. He is just passing a burial mound, and his men are following him slowly." "Oh, that is Parthenopaeus," the old man told her. He is the son of Atalanta, friend of Artemis. But do you see those two over there near the grave of the daughters of Niobe? The eldest is Adrastus, who heads the entire expedition. And the younger, does he look familiar to you? I can only see his shoulders and the outline of his body, said Antigone with painful emotion. And yet I recognize my brother, Polynices. Could I but fly like clouds, float down to him and clasp my arms around his neck, how he gleams in his golden armor, like the morning sun. But who is that charioteer who holds the reins in so firm a hand, drives a white chariot, and uses his goad with such calm deliberation? That is Amphiaraus, the seer, and the one who is pacing along the walls, measuring them and looking for the best place to attack. That is arrogant Canopeus, who has scoffed at our city and threatened to take you and your sisters to Mycenae by the waters of Lerna as slaves. Antigone paled and asked to be taken back. The old man gave her his hand and helped her down the stair and into her chamber. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales. Many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey.